My name's Matthew, and I get the enormous pleasure of walking you around this 2023 Audi R8 Performance Edition Quattro, which means it is the all-wheel drive 620 PS version of the R8, and being a performance edition and from 2023, it is probably one of the last Audi R8 Spyders, V10 Spyders, to be in the UK. This particular example has covered just over 3,000 miles. So what an opportunity for someone to own, in my opinion, one of the last great V10 mid-engine supercars. It's finished in probably the R8's most famous color, or this generation of R8's most famous color, which is Ara Blue Kristall Metallic. And being a performance edition, you get some really nice extra touches like the gloss black items across the whole car. So one of my favorite pieces actually is that the whole of the windscreen surround is finished in gloss black, when traditionally on R8s, that's sort of a high polished chrome finish, depending on what model you go for. So I thought that was a really nice touch from Audi on these performance edition cars. So let's talk about some of those features. This being these last iteration vehicles, you get the updated front end, so this super aggressive front bumper here with all the facelifted items, the updated laser headlights with that updated daytime running light as well. All of the grills finished in gloss black, the front splitter section also finished in gloss black, as well as the famous 4 Audi rings on the bonnet. Moving around the side of the car, the passenger side, what we have here is the Performance Edition wheels. Again, this wheel was specifically made for the rear-wheel drive Performance Edition, but I think it works beautifully on this version of this car. And unlike the rear-wheel drive car, it doesn't have those bronze accents. So on this car, it's finished in a gloss or metallic gloss black with the high-polished fascias to all the edges, and then those amazing Audi RS performance or racing derived carbon ceramic discs. They are huge with the big Audi RS red calipers behind there. And then one thing again that I've always loved about the R8, which is different to its Lamborghini Huracan cousin, is that you get an enormous front trunk. This whole section, it doesn't really have front wings, it's just got a big clamshell that lifts up, but it does mean you get more space under the bonnet. Little gloss black V10 logos down the side there as well. Gloss black mirror covers and a gloss black lower trim under the doors there. You do get the carbon fiber, all famous carbon fiber side blades, and this car has smooth leather throughout. A quick touch before you move past it, the Audi Sport puddle lamps are as well, very, very nice feature on these cars, illuminated tread plates as you get in and out of the car. And then go inside. These are my favorite seats for this car. They are the sports seat, but with the diamond quilted stitching and the Bang & Olufsen stereo speakers in the headrests themselves. They're super adjustable. And it's a mixture of piano black and carbon fiber throughout the interior of this car. We've got carbon fiber engine bonnet or engine covers, I suppose. But again, that mixture of gloss black and carbon. So the outer sections of the engine cover finished in carbon, the inner sections in gloss black. And then of course, being a V10 Plus or a V10 Performance, you get the huge carbon fiber gurney flap on the back of the car there, that sort of little despoiler on the back of the car. It is massive, and I think it's really, really cool that this car still has all of that carbon fiber adorning it. Coming around the back of the car, more gloss black to the rear diffuser, the exhaust surrounds, and again, these later cars get these huge RS oval exhausts, which I think work very, very well, and a reverse camera tucked in neatly under that sort of open mesh grille at the back of the car. And we'll move around the driver's side. I still think this is very cool. If you open this, the fuel filler cap is almost racing inspired. There is no twist cap. It's just a push off lid and you fuel straight into it. I think that's a really cool little feature. And I know these R8s really well. I've owned a few of them. I'm really, really fond of this particular model. Keyless entry and keyless go. There is a small little section under here, really nicely hidden, for you to just touch your finger on to lock the car via keyless when you do walk away from it. And if I jump in myself, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire that incredibly iconic 5.2 litre V10 into life. And if you have a look at the door card now, We've got smooth leather across the whole of the door card. So again, really important to differentiate. Lower specification Model R8s have almost a man-made crinkle finish across the tops of the doors and the top of the dashboard. Performance editions get smooth leather throughout the car. So smooth leather on the top of the door, on all of these inserts where you get to the air vents down here. And we've got these lovely carbon fiber sort of surrounds to the air vents throughout the car, as well as the center cockpit over here. And then moving back to the door, we've got electric anti-dazzle heated folding mirrors. We've got electric windows for both windows. You've got a front trunk release there as well, and the very important Bang & Olufsen hi-fi system that's in this car. And whilst these cars don't have ambient lighting, it is very nice to mention that there is some lovely sort of ambient lighting-esque lighting that sort of sits behind the Bang & Olufsen speaker grills and lights the footwells up when you've got the lights on at night. And then moving into the cockpit, one of my favorite virtual cockpits. I mean, Audi being sort of the initial people to sort of design the virtual cockpit, I think it's so brilliant, and it still looks relevant and up to date today. It is all configurable, so you just press the view button and you can switch between dials and a full map if you want to run it. This car is also fitted with Apple CarPlay, which you plug into the center console, and that populates that screen as well. And then moving into the steering wheel itself, perforated all around and flat bottomed. And then I love this wheel. Paddle shifters on the back. All your multifunction is so intuitive on either side of the wheel. You have your drive select switch on the left-hand side, which will let you run through all the drive modes on the car. You also have a race switch down here. So if I press this button, you'll hear the car's revs lift as we go into performance mode. And you have 3 driving modes within performance mode. You have a dry setting, a wet setting, and for those crazy people out there, a snow setting. I'll just switch that off. And obviously the red start-stop button there as well. We've got cruise control down on the left-hand side. And what I love most about this interior is A, it's super spacious. For a supercar, it feels like you've got loads of room. You can do a long drive in this car. But B, considering this car came out in 2015, it still feels ultra modern. We've got these floating dials for the climate control. All of these beautiful bits of carbon fiber everywhere, that famous Quattro badge down there, a wireless phone charger in here with 2 USB ports, all your controls for start, stop, and your parking sensors down here, and an override, so you can control that center cockpit, the virtual cockpit, via this wheel and controls in the center of the dashboard here, but alternatively you can control it on the steering wheel itself. We have this final little button to tell you about, which is that little glass separator. Now you're looking at that wondering what it does, but I'm about to show you. So I'm going to run the roof. If I just shut the door, I may not need to, but I will shut the door. I'm going to run the roof. I'm going to explain exactly the purpose of that little glass window. So if we let the roof cycle and complete, you'll see all of the windows go up. Now, if the camera wants to just go to the back of the car, I'm going to pop that window down, as you can see, and open up this space in between. Now, what that lets you do is run that beautiful V8 up to 9,000 RPM with the roof on in the rain and still hear it. It brings all of that noise, that just incredible sort of huge amount of noise into the cabin. So it really changes your driving experience. And I think that's something very special about these R8s. And I'll just jump out now and summarize. A 2023 R8 V10 Performance Edition Quattro, finished in Ara Blue Kristall Metallic. And again, now the roof's up, you can see how cool these gloss black sections really do work with the car, how they look with the car. It's just one of my all-time favorite supercars, and I think the last of a dying breed of supercar. And I think it represents an amazing opportunity for somebody to come and buy a car that is very much nearly new and very, very special. My name is Matthew. I hope this video has helped. Thanks for watching.